Hi, it's Breyden Dukette. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be doing the 2025 NFL mock draft. I usually have always put it in slides, but I don't want to do that this time, and everybody just brings up the PFF mock draft simulator and uses that. So let's start off with the Tennessee Titans. And I think that, um, yes, Abdul Carter is the obvious choice, but I keep seeing people think it's going to be Cam Ward, and I just like if you have the number one pick, I don't see them rolling with Levis. I have a strong feeling that new front office is going to want a new quarterback, and I think Cam Ward could be good enough to be a franchise quarterback. So I'm gonna do that until I hear otherwise. Maybe a Russell Wilson, like if they sign Russell Wilson, it's not gonna be Aaron Rodgers. They sign Russell Wilson, and then they're saying, okay, well, it might not happen. I'm gonna go Ward. So next for the Browns, I think there's no good. I mean, there's some average, but they need another pass rusher alongside Garrett. That would really bring the Browns defense to a new level. So that because both of those guys, both the dual Carter and Miles Garrett are really good. Like they're not going to be able to double team both of them. So if the Browns want to bring their defense to a new level, then Abdul Carter. As far as quarterback goes, I think they will be able to get by um, with like Pickett, or I hope. Well, maybe not, but it's too early for Shador. I like Cam Ward better as a prospect. I think it's too early for Shador, and yeah, you can't pass up on a dual Carter. So for the Giants at 3, I think they're desperate for a quarterback. I mean, the same organization took Shador Sanders way too high. I mean, this the same organization took Daniel Jones way too high. So I think that Shador Sanders is very much in play, and I think they've showed interest into quarterbacks in free agency, but they ain't getting any of them. And I think Rodgers ends up a Steeler. So Shador Sanders at 3. Um, they need a quarterback badly, so I think they're gonna just do it. And yes, they could trade up to number one, but I just don't have it in this scenario because I haven't really. I mean, we saw the Panthers trade up to number one, but that's the only time I've seen that. So I'm gonna just do it like this. And then number 4, Travis Hunter. That's a no-brainer. All right, on to the next pick. Um, Number 5 is gonna be Mason Graham because um, I really think that's that would be a really good piece of that defensive interior. As far as corner goes, I think it's too high for Jardé Barron and Will Johnson. I think he's going to fall outside the top 10. So I'm going to do Mason Graham because he's a good player. I've watched him several times. I For sixth, Las Vegas, I think it's either going to be Ted McMillan or Genty. The Raiders don't have a good receiver outside of um, Jacoby Myers. and they have Warren, but I think they can get a running back in the later rounds, or sign one in free agency, or maybe each. I know Genti a real piece here, and I know that Carroll loved having beast mode, but I think what would help Geno Smith the most is having a jump ball um, receiver like Tedero McMillan with good catch radius. I mean, it could be either or, but I think McMillan could go in there and be the number one receiver and really make some big plays for Geno Smith. So for the Jets, I can't do any trades in this mock draft. I I don't see it being that good of a class that you can have a bunch of trades with. So I'm gonna just play it out the first two rounds. I mean, you can't ever predict trades. But the next pick, the Jets, I think it's gonna be Tyler Warren. They haven't signed a tight end yet, and Fields Fields threw to commit a lot his first year. So I think having a guy like Warren who could, is a really good blocker and a passer, like he could be the next, stud superstar tight end. So I think it's going to be Tyler Warren. Um, for the Carolina Panthers, um, it doesn't have offensive line listed because there's both Membo and Campbell on this board. Um, they signed two defensive interior guys last offseason, so I don't think it's going to be that. Um, defensive back or defensive line. Um, Jade Barron is in play. They do have J.C. Horn, but again, injuries, you can never have enough talent. But what I'm going to go with here is I'm going to go. I can't do trades. I think it's going to be Shamar Stewart because he's a really good athlete. Again, they could trade down and take him. If Mason Graham was on there, like Tyler Warren could be good, even though they have a tight end. Um, so for Carolina, I mean, a receiver too. It's early for Matthew Golden. I mean, may end up being the pick, but I think they need another because they traded away Ryan Burns last season. So I think Shamar Stewart, yes, he didn't have that many sacks, um, but he has really good athleticism. All right, for pick number 9, I think that this New Orleans Saints will take the guy that um, went to college in the same state, Will Campbell. They're going to move Fuaga back to right tackle and have Campbell be their next all pro left tackle like they had um, Teron Armstead. So I think Campbell, I mean, Mimbo is the more prototypical player, but I think that they should keep Fuaga at right tackle because that was his college position. And then put Campbell, who played left tackle his whole career, at left tackle. Um, so then the Chicago Bears, again, I'm not going to explain this. They've improved their offensive line enough that they can just put Genty right in there. I mean, yes, Will Campbell. If Genty was gone and Will Campbell was there, I'd go Will Campbell. But if Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, not on the board at 4 for New England, which is highly possible. But in this scenario, they get Travis Hunter, so Will Campbell falls to either 9, 10, or 11. Well, he could go 9, 10, 11, 12, or 13. It really doesn't matter. So the 49ers, I think that it's going to be a cornerback, but I really like Will Johnson for them over Jade Barron for some reason. I think that he's been the number one corner for a while, and he's really going to thrive in that defense if he stays healthy. For Dallas at 12, I think Dallas, Membo, if he played guard, maybe, but they have Steele and Guyton. I mean, yes, Guyton. I think Membo could be athletic enough to be that um, that player for you. But for the Cowboys, I'm leaning towards Matthew Golden. He's a really fast receiver. He can really play on the outside, have Lamb in the slot, Matthew Golden on the outside. He's he's from Texas. Well, not he played college football in Texas. For Miami at number 13, I don't think it's a corner. Malachi Starks or Manmori is possible. Membo, again, they really need really a left tackle or interior. I don't think that. I'm going to go. I think the best player that would help them now, Josh Simmons or Kelvin Banks. I'm gonna go Kelvin Banks. I think that's the best player for them right now. Because Teron Armstead might not play, and he can play guard if Armstead still plays, or he can go to right tackle, which is actually to his blind side. It's flipped because he's a left-handed quarterback. For the Colts, they did sign a cornerback, so Jade Barron would be a third. They did sign Bynum. Starks possibility still because of injuries, and they need a quarter for a while. Jahad Campbell, I'm not sure about this early. Membo, they have Breyden Smith still for the right tackle. Um, they did lose Odingbo, Pierce, but I think the best player for them right now, and that's fine, Colston Loveland. He's a great tight end talent, and I could see him going top 15 as well. Just because of the class. For Atlanta, I really want it to be. They don't need any tackles. I really want it to be James Pierce Jr. He's from the SEC. He had a lot of sacks, like a lot of sacks. He's one of the sack leaders. Arizona Cardinals. I think that they go BPA here, and yeah, Jade Barron. They would really like. I think it's Membo. Leave they can leave Paris Johnson. They could he didn't give any sacks up in 2024, it looks like. Um but he's still right tackle. So the Cardinals really could use a right tackle. If they want Murray to if they want that offense to get better, I would have Membo. So you can have two cornerstone offensive linemen. Again, defensive tackle, but I think Membo is the best player available here. For Cincinnati, I think secondary could happen. But I think the best fit for Cincinnati right now is a defensive end because I don't think they're paying Hendrickson. I mean, if I were the Bengals, I would pay Chase, Hendrickson, and Burrow and have those my top three highest players. Um, and then I would let Higgins go because I want to have at least one stud at every position. Two studs at one position. Yes, it works, but don't always happen. See, Ezuraku I think it's going to be the Georgia product. I mean, all Georgia products turning out to be sure things. So, and yeah, he's a good run defender. I think he's just okay. Oh, wait a second. We're still going here. Sorry, the computer died. So, for Seattle, I think Seattle is going to take a receiver, even though they just gave up on their receivers. I mean, yeah, Tyler Burker is. I don't think. I don't think. I don't think you should pass up receiver talent. Luther Bird, I can feel him being a Seattle Seahawk. Go JSN. Like Donald needs multiple weapons. He don't just need JSN and Fan. He needs multiple, meaning three. The Buccaneers, I think the Bucks. This is where Jade Barron goes off the board. This just feels like a Buccaneer. Denver Broncos. I think my Patriots are going to be signing Cooper Cup, so you're going to need to draft Ibuka to go with um, Cortland Sutton and Colston Loveland's not on the board anymore. So now the Steelers can't take a receiver, obviously. So why not? Because they just lost Dan Moore. So they need protection for whoever's going to go in there. So that's why I think Josh Simmons goes. For the Chargers, there's no more receivers worth taking. I think that I think that's where Harbaugh will reunite with Kenneth Grant. I really do for that defensive interior. I really like him. Really do. So the Green Bay Packers are next, and I think Jalen Walker. See, I was gonna go corner here, but Jade Baronardi went. Edge rusher possibility. You know what? There's no corner on the board, so I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Emmanuel. He's flown up, and then him and Xavier McKinney. Ooh, that'd be a great secondary, and you're gonna have Caleb Williams with a lot of time in the pocket now. You have Detroit, you have Minnesota in the same division. Go out and make that secondary even better. Emmanuel and McKinney. That seems really good. McKinney, I think, could play either position, and then you could put Emmanuel into that strong safety position. For Minnesota, I don't think it's Omarion Hampton anymore. So I think this is where Tyler Booker goes off the board. And yes, they did sign Will Fries, but in my opinion, they should put Booker at right guard and Fries at left guard, and then your interior is fixed. There he is, Tyler Booker. All right, so for the Houston Texans, they got they have too many safeties. Not got, they have too many. They just tore down their offensive line. Like it's like nothing. I really like Connerly better than the other ones on the board right now. He was in the Big Ten. Obviously, he had to go up against Carter and Temanula from Ohio State and Sawyer. So I just think that that's what the Houston Texans need right now. I mean, a lot of teams need a left tackle, and Connerly, I really like his tape. I really like what he brings to the table as a pass blocker, and he has a really great skill set. Um, and I really like his hands, his get off. So I really think that Connerly's in play for a first round pick here. So for the Rams, Starks is gonna be a good one, but I think they would view. I think they're gonna be a Jalen Walker team. You can basically create the next um, great Michael Parsons outside linebacker defensive end. Not saying Walker is good like Michael Parsons is, but I think that would be the best fit for that defense. For Baltimore, they are probably cutting Marcus Williams. I'm gonna go. Where is he? Donovan Jackson, maybe. I think it's early, too early for those quarters. Those corners. I mean, I'm gonna go Zabel because he's from a small school. He could be put in the guard or he could be a tackle. And if Falele don't work out, Falele's so big he might be pushed inside at some point. Um, but yeah, Zabel's kind of like Patrick McCarry. He can play guard or tackle, and yeah. So I think that Zabel would be a really great pick for Baltimore, who needs to keep that offensive line going. He can play at McCarry's position. He could go to right guard. For the Lions, I think it's going to be Mike Green. That's the Dan Campbell type pick. For Washington, I think I had a man Worry going to him in my last draft. So for this draft, I'm gonna do Harmon just because they cut Allen. Oh wait a second, no, they signed Kinlaw. I'm gonna say they got Starks. I'm gonna put Starks, and then for the Bills I'm gonna do Harmon. I'm gonna do Harmon, Bills, and Starks for Commanders. For Kansas City, hmm, Walter Nolan. They need somebody else to go next to Chris Jones. Philadelphia, I think, is going to be an Izaraku team. And that's it for the first round. Have a nice day. Bye.